Hello and welcome to Faces and Places, the live event that brings Accor to you. My name is Hayley Edmonds and I'm delighted to be your host for this interactive live session on Facebook and LinkedIn that takes a tour of Accor hotels around the world, and we'll be meeting the talent that have chosen a path in hospitality and find out how they've evolved at the heart of the Accor Group. Now, this is also an opportunity for you to find out about the multiple job prospects on offer in the hospitality industry. And trust me, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Now, as I said, this is an interactive session, so please don't hesitate in telling us where you're connecting from today. Where are you watching us from around the world? Tell us in the chat section just next to the screen. In fact, you can also use this chat section throughout the live event to ask any questions that you may have about any of the subjects that we address here today. Now, if you're looking for a new opportunity, maybe even a career change, or if you're just curious and you want to be inspired by some of our talent stories, you're in the right place. Don't go anywhere. Now, to kickstart this event, we headed to the streets of Paris to speak to the public and find out what their thoughts were on the hospitality industry. Let's take a look. We've come to Paris today to find out what you think about the hospitality industry. In your opinion, in the hospitality industry, what would be a positive side in working in it and what would be a negative side?
That you are in contact with a lot of people
from different countries,
meeting lots of people from all around the world,
communicating with people. We see different cultures. You live in a hotel.
Even if it's very hard and you're always tired, people around you and your colleagues makes you feel better.
I think probably it would be nice to meet new people from all different cultures.
The bad side, I would say maybe like always smiling and always be like welcoming with people, that sometimes it's hard.
Be dealing with, unhappy guests.
People that they complain, people are different, some people are very spoiled.
The working times. You have to work when other people have free time.
That you often have irregular working times.
If you had to think of a hotel, what 3 jobs would you think of?
Obviously, I think it's probably too broad just to say service.
Obviously, chef.
In the reception, in the management, and the people doing the rooms.
Yeah, first one is the reception, is a good idea. The manager of the hotel, and then the kitchen.
The front desk, and we call that room service, catering,
housekeeping.
Some very varied responses there. As we just heard, sometimes the hospitality industry can be misunderstood. Well, our challenge today is to, of course, change your opinion on that and maybe to show that despite its image, the industry has a lot to offer. And I have some fantastic guests that we're going to be meeting over the course of this live session. Now, in the beginning, I asked you where you are tuning in from today. Well, I'm really glad to hear we have some people tuning in from Paris and Spain and even Portugal. So thank you very much. It's great to have you with us. Please don't hesitate in asking any questions that you may have over the course of this live event. Accor can offer plenty of opportunities to help their talent evolve and grow with extensive training opportunities. Did you know that Accor is present in more than 100 countries? In fact, it has over 5,400 hotels. To name but a few, Ibis, Mercure or Pullman. Does it ring any bells? Well, they are just 3 of 40 brands under the Accor Group umbrella. And did you know that the talent working in the Accor Group hotels are called heartists? And there are more than 300,000 of them working all around the world. In fact, I'm going to meet one of them who sat right next to me right now. I'm joined here by Florian, who is General Manager at Ibis and Novotel at Zurich Airport in Switzerland. Firstly, thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you.
So you've been with Accor for many years now, and you've really evolved and worked your way up the ladder. And this didn't happen overnight, as we know. So let's maybe start with the very beginning and give us a brief introduction. Tell us how you evolved from the front desk right up to where you are now as general manager.
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. I started in 2006 at the IBIS in Zurich, and I made all the way up from front office manager, from a supervisor. I went to the headquarters to be a trainer and made all the way up to several trainings to become a general manager.
So you're really testament to the investment that Accor do kind of have and put into their talent and really help you evolve with the necessary training. And we'll go into more detail just after our first story. Now, this comes from actually your hotel in Zurich, Switzerland. And we're now going to meet Magda and find out more about her career evolution. Let's take a look.
I'm Magda Hayley. I'm 32 years old. I was born and raised in South Germany, Stuttgart. I've been working for Accor for 10 years. So my journey at Accor started 2013. I done my traineeship at the Ibis Hotel, Stuttgart Airport, at the front desk and back office. And then I was looking for something else. I know at Accor you can move around and it's just a transfer. So I moved to Hamburg. There I was working as a front office manager and I was responsible for the social media also. After 5 years, I moved back to Ibis Stuttgart because I'm an Ibis child, so I never left the brand. And I was working there also as a front office manager. Now I'm in Switzerland, also at the Ibis Zurich Airport, and working as a deputy manager. I choose the hospitality because when I was a child, my grandfather told me a lot of things about hotels. He was working as a general manager, but in our country, in Eritrea. I was listening very carefully and I had always fun, and it was like a passion for me. I love this job because to work with people, it's everything for me, because I want to give something and I want to take something from the people. Working for Accor, I think it's you can be you. That's very important for me, to be myself. Accor helped me to evolve. First of all, they trust me, and then they see my development, and then they offer me really trainings. They offer also the Bluma program. It's a 12 months development to become a future GM. They teach us about revenue management, psychology, and how to be a GM. It was really exciting because you can network with all your colleagues all over the world. Florian Kretschmar, it's my new boss. He's really on the same level. He's really like a friend. He's really supportive. I really enjoy to work with him. I know for myself I can do more than just one task. I want to grow, I want to develop myself, and that's why I choose this way. I see myself in the future at Accor in the next few years, of course, because I'm not leaving this company. And I see myself as a future GM maybe, or maybe really at the background, so behind the stage, revenue manager or VPO, you never know.
So Florian, it was great to have a bit of insight into your day-to-day working life, you guest starring in that little video there. So clearly Accor puts people at the heart of everything that you do. Learning is ingrained in your culture, I guess, and a top strategic priority for the group, as we just saw with Magda. Now, you also offer a lot of training programs. Did you benefit from any specific training programs?
Yes, absolutely. We have a lot of online trainings, but we have also management programs. Like I made the IHMP. It's a management program together with the ESSEC Business School. Was a great experience. It gave me a big push in my career, and I can highly recommend to all the people that they need to attend on a program like this.
IHMP, is that right?
Exactly, yes.
Fantastic. Now, were you aware of the evolution opportunities that were on offer prior to joining Accor?
To be honest, no. So I know Accor is a big company, but I never expect how much they invest in their talents, how much possibilities they have to grow with the company, and the mobility. So we are all over the world. You have so many possibilities.
But this didn't stop you from having big ambitions right from your very first interview?
Absolutely not. I remember my first interview when my GM was sitting in front of me, and I tell him, hey, I want to have your job in 5 to 10 years.
I mean, in the opening video, we also heard multiple reactions from people out in the street with regards to hospitality. Are there any you may agree with?
Yeah, the one you meet different people, different cultures every day. So every day is different, and I think that makes our industry so interesting like it is.
So Okay, what makes Accor different to any other hotel group from the responses we heard in the opening video?
I think the possibilities you have when you join the company, we have so many programs where you can grow up your career, you can transfer to other hotels, you can transfer to other countries, you can change between the brands. So there's so much you can do with Accor.
Was everyone aware and supportive of your objectives when starting at Accor? Because if I'm not mistaken, you were made general manager at 27 years old, is that right?
27, yes, that's right. I was quite young. I was one of the youngest in Switzerland. But yes, so from the first day, we had a lot of interviews with my head of departments. We had appraisal with the general manager, and they already prepared me through several programs to be GM with 30. Well, I made it with 27, and I'm happy to my VPO and to the team who supported me these days.
Right, so you really got support from the whole team around you. It's really encouraged you to grow, I guess, as well. So what is it about your job that keeps you motivated?
It's first of all our talents, my team, my artists, so they give me the feedback every day. It's our international guests, and as I said before, every day is different. So we can learn so much, we can learn from our talents, we can learn from our guests, and I like the diversity, the energy in the team and in the hotel every day.
And we really got that from that video with Magda. But I'm going to ask you, those that are watching, what motivates you when you're working? Are you more of a team player? Is it maybe more of a social side, meeting the clients? What is it that really works you up and boosts you on when you're at work? We'd love to hear it. Tell us in the chat. So how have you seen the demands of the job candidates evolve? And how have you adapted to this criteria?
I think everything goes faster with the social media. We have to adapt. We have to use social media to recruit new carriers. We need to have social media to stay with them in contact. The needs of the team members is work-life balance is really important, and they're also seeking a lot for training. So this is something we provide them on a daily basis.
So just like Magda, she called it a transfer, but you've moved around in multiple hotels around the world. I mean, this is a fantastic opportunity and a positive point of working for a group like Accor, because there are 40 brands under the Accor group umbrella, and you're present in over 100 countries around the world. Now, I also know they kind of encourage the artists to learn, grow and move around and have that freedom as well. This is a great approach and definitely a beneficial one, Florian.
Absolutely, and Magda is the best example.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So would the opportunity to have freedom between hotels in different countries interest you? Tell us in the chat. I mean, is this something that could interest you? Would this be a strong point if you're looking for a career to potentially start in one country and evolve, get that experience, and then go to another one as well? So let's talk about your team. We met Magda and some of your other team. Is having a diverse team important to you? What are the advantages of having a diverse team?
Absolutely. It's a top priority. It makes the team so fruitful. And there's so many people where you can learn from each other. We have different nationalities, different languages, different skills. And I think all together as a team, we can benefit a lot. And diversity is one of our top priorities in the hotel.
Okay, so Florian, what would you say to someone that was contemplating a career in the hospitality industry, but may not have the experience or even the qualifications they may think necessary? Yeah,
well, I think most important is the soft skills. And we have so many different jobs in the hotel, from back office to front office, from F&B to housekeeping. So there's a job for everyone. And you can learn on the job every day. And you have so much possibilities.
In the video, and even with regards to what you say, you know, contact with clients and working with the team, meeting new people all day is a positive point for a lot of people. But what about people that may not have, maybe a bit more reclusive, may not necessarily want to be meeting people every day? Exactly. Is there work for them as well?
Well, therefore we have our team, and there's a lot of possibilities in the back office, in accounting, in marketing, and the team is always willing to welcome new team members and teaching them, train them, and together they can do everything. So they don't need to be worried, we will help them.
That sounds great. Now, we also saw you really working around the hotel. You weren't sat in your office. Why is it important for you to have constant interaction with your teams? What is your management philosophy?
I think leading by example, being a mentor, being with the team, seeking for feedback, collecting feedback, this is something which is really important for me.
Accor. I'd love to come and work for you. Anyway, tell us about Bloom programme. Now, I've heard about this specific programme that's been implemented, and Magda briefly mentioned it. What does that entail exactly, and how does that facilitate career growth?
Yeah, it's a 12-month program with different steps. It's for head of departments who want to become a GM within 1 year. You have a great exchange. You can see other brands, you can see other departments, and it's absolutely something which I can highly support everyone.
So it's a year-long course,
yes,
right, to become a general manager?
Exactly.
Because I know we're using the GM jargon, but GM means general manager, so good to know. So what kind of profile do you look for when employing talent?
We're looking at soft skills. I think this is the most important. You need to love the team, you need to love the guests, and all the other things you can learn on the doing. And we have so many training programs which you can benefit from.
And I think this is fantastic because you're really focusing on skills that people may not necessarily even know about, which I know we'll find out later on with Juliette. But I think that's fantastic that you're really kind of digging a little deeper and really valuing people for qualities and for skills they may not even know they have. So once they're on board, maybe you can tell us a bit about the talent journey. Do management find the time to check in on the artists over the course of their, well, starting at the onboarding, then over the course of their career path?
Exactly. So we work with daily feedback. We have an onboarding program. We have appraisals to support them, to see what are the needs, what are the trainee needs. And we had a wide range of trainings we can support during the onboarding. And even after the onboarding, it's really important to stay in daily contact with the teams.
Did you know, Florian, that 28% of general managers at Accor Group in 2022 had no educational qualifications? That just demonstrates how much you invest in your teams and how you accompany them and give them the most appropriate tools and, of course, the most appropriate training. I mean, that's fantastic.
Absolutely. It's amazing.
It is, right. So thank you so much for being here and for sharing your experience with us, for showing us that, you know, Accor Group really do focus on soft skills and you're really there to support your artists or the talent that do come and work for you. Plus, of course, your ethic and training and your valuing your talent for their soft skills is fantastic. Now, if you are interested in applying for a job or a career with Accor, don't hesitate in clicking on the link just underneath this video, and that will take you to the careers website. Once again, thank you so much for sharing your experience and journey with us today. Just before I leave you, do you know how many hours of training were given to 15,000 employees at Accor last year? Give us a number. How many hours? No idea?
No.
99,000.
Wow.
99,000 hours were given to 15,000 employees in the Accor Group last year. That just goes to show how much they invest in their teams. As we discussed, Accor really allow their teams to grow and evolve, providing necessary training. And of course, Florian and Magda are testament to that. But what if you're looking for a complete career change? Incidentally, is that something that you've ever considered doing? Completely changing industries or sectors and trying something new? Why not the hospitality industry? If so, let us know in the chat section. Well, this is exactly what happened to our next artist, who we'll meet in this video. Her name is Maribeth. She works at the Swiss hotel, the Stamford in Singapore. Now, Maribeth was previously in the construction industry, and since moving into the hospitality industry, she's worked her way up the Accor ladder. Let's take a look.
My name is Maribeth. I am 54 years old, a mother of 3, and currently I'm working as housekeeping coordinator at the Swiss Hotel, the Stamford. I used to work as a room attendant for almost a year. After that, I became a coordinator until now. My current job includes assigning rooms to our attendants, and in the morning, we distribute mobiles and keys to them. Part of my job as well is to answer emails and communicating efficiently and effectively with all the other departments in the hotel, such as the front office, reservation desk, and evening room dinings, and many more. A friend of mine approached me and asked me if I wanted to join working as casual staff at the Swiss Hotel Stamford. Initially, I declined because I thought that working in the hotel is tough. I tried for 1 week. I found that it was rewarding and manageable, and I actually enjoyed working. I used to work in the construction field as an on-site administrative support. When I started as room attendant in the hotel, I was actually mentored by a much older lady than me. I was encouraged by her strength, by the joy that she has on her face, the pleasant look each time she does her work. So that's the reason why I fell in love with the job. I am a people person. I love socializing with people and I love to connect with them. In this way, I can learn their cultures if they belong from different nations, or I can be of help to them somehow when they need help. If you love connecting with people and you have the sense of service, hotel industry is for you.
What an inspirational story, as we just saw with Maribeth. Hospitality industry really does give everyone the chance to embark on life-changing opportunities and careers. And as the third largest sector globally, it's also abundant in job and upskilling opportunities. Accor help their artists. Now, if you wondered what artist means, it's a word derived from both the heart they put into everything and the artistry their talent embrace. Sometimes making that jump or that leap is the hardest decision to make, but Accor encourage it and welcome everyone with open arms. In fact, we're going to meet one person who's sat right next to me, who's going to tell me about your story. So welcome, Martine and Juliette. Thank you so much for being with us here today. You're from the Pullman Paris Tour Eiffel Tower Hotel in Paris. So maybe I'll start with you, Martine. Now, we can draw quite a few parallels between the story that we just saw and, of course, your own. You're now working in one of the most emblematic hotels in Paris with a beautiful view of the Eiffel Tower. But you previously worked in a completely different sector. Tell us more about that.
Well, I started off my role as ground staff in Paris, and I moved to working as cabin crew for over 22 years, mainly in England, and notably for British Airways for most of my career as cabin crew. And then obviously due to the COVID and the airline has changed a lot, so I needed to think about alternative. So I wanted to remain in the same environment and sorry.
And you're here working at one of the most beautiful hotels in Paris.
Correct.
Which is fantastic. Yeah. But I love the fact that you took that courage to go from working in an airline, from flight staff, to working in a hotel. I mean, it's so brave and courageous of you. How hard was it to make that decision, to make that transition?
Well, actually, it was not too difficult for me because as I realized, I had already the main skills to work to fulfill my role as.
What would you say those skills were then?
Well, it was mainly interaction with the customers, with the guests, social skills, and working work shift, and standard hours, and mainly always adapting to the guest.
Of course, yeah, because every time you board a new flight, you're meeting new guests every time. So I imagine as flight staff, constantly travelling around the world, you must have stayed in hotels in multiple countries. What did you learn about the hospitality industry from that?
Well, the important was mainly for me customer service. I would say then, obviously, the first impression they will have customers when they arrive is the hotel, and the interaction obviously is with the hotel. And as a desk, it is important. And
it's great to have that angle and that experience as well, and from the other side, and I guess to bring that over into your new role. So what is your new job and what does it involve?
Well, my new was very interactive from the start, and I was...
Were you onboarded quite rapidly?
Yeah, I would say that I was on...
That's fine. So you started, after how long did you get, training? Did you get any training?
My training was mainly 3 weeks training, mainly observation.
Yeah.
And I was watching my colleague working. I was asking questions, taking note. And obviously they were teaching me everything. It was mainly learning on the field.
Right, and we'll go into that in just a bit with Juliette. And I think it's a fantastic approach as well. It's onboarding, real interactive on the field. That way you can ask questions. And I guess it kind of encourages teamwork as well. Maybe you could just tell us a bit more about your new job and what exactly it involves working at the front desk.
Oh, I would say is welcoming mainly guests, is proceeding to checking and check out, making sure then they're aware of all the availabilities they have in the hotel and being present and I would say available just in
yeah, for all the guests. Yeah. And I guess you're kind of like the heart of the hotel as well. Everyone kind of comes to you for any information, you know, times or whatever. And I guess that it's always nice to have that. And as you said, that first impression, that first interaction is so important when you are a guest. And now you're the one welcoming. So I think that's fantastic. How different is this from your previous job, Martine?
Well, I would say as a teamwork, obviously working on the aircraft, you're changing all the time rather than at the hotel. It's more stable, so you can build team spirit with your colleagues. And I would say stability as well, as you're at home more often. And then obviously your roster are published 2 weeks in advance. But you can always, it's very flexible, so you can change your work pattern and your days off as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I bet you don't miss a jet lag, do you? No. Don't blame you. Well, thank you so much, Martine, and well done. It's super courageous of you.
Thank you.
Well done. Juliette, over to you. Now, your professional evolution has taken a bit of a different path to that of Martine's, and even the nature of your job. Could you briefly tell us what your job as talent and learning manager entails?
Yes, for sure. In a few words, I am in charge of the entire recruitment process, from the department manager coming to me to fill or to create specific new roles, putting the job online, interviewing candidates, find new initiative to encourage candidates to apply. And I am also in charge of the onboarding, so which means brand immersions and welcoming training also.
And that's what Martine mentioned just then, onboarding and the importance of, right from the word go, integrating the talent into the team. So what was it about Accor that you really liked prior to working there?
I think definitely how the group is constantly innovating. I could say that since the day I started to work here, I could see how it was a really dynamic company, and yeah, I think I already wanted to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Now, the hiring process and the demands of the candidates have, of course, changed since COVID. What would you say are the main focuses of candidates right now?
Yeah, it's really true to say that demands are really involved since COVID. Candidates are more regarding about work conditions, hours of work, also on their well-being. I think they are more looking for a healthy work balance between professional and personal life.
Fantastic. Now I'm going to ask the people that are watching, what about you? What are the most important factors to take into consideration now when you are looking for a job? We really look forward to hearing from you and getting your feedback on that question. Don't forget, if you do have any questions over the course of this live event, please put them in the chat box just next to the screen. So, Juliette, how are you more accommodating to these new demands?
Well, we have to offer more flexibility in career path to enable talents to move easily between function, and in this way provide a more personalized work and life balance.
So if I've understood correctly, at Accor, you embrace diversity and encourage people to express their personalities, but also their point of views. So how do you apply this when you're actually hiring?
Yeah, that's true. We are really open to different profiles, and we are not only focused on their experience, previous experience, but we are also focused on their soft skills and personalities. But it's true to say that we have to be innovative to find the right people to the right positions.
So how do you go about recruiting in a more innovative way? I heard about one particular innovative operation called Job au Talent, which is basically jobs for talent, I guess. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, Job au Talent, it's like a big event of recruitment. We are recruit without CV on spot, so our recruitment is based on their personality and individual self-expressions rather than the hard skills.
Okay, so it's recruitment without a CV. They're employed on the spot. Wow. How do you go about doing this?
Concretely, there are different corners like housekeeping, reception, kitchen, but also for food and beverage. And if candidates are interested by reception, we give them a map and ask them to show us the quickest way to go from to B, something really simple that clients could ask in a real reception desk. Or if they are more interested by the kitchen, we ask them to create maybe like a little salad in 10 minutes. And we are not only focused on how efficient they are or how they do it, but also if they're paying attention, maybe, for example, to the hygiene, which is paramount in kitchen.
I'd be awful at the map exercise, incidentally. But what is the idea behind Job au Talent?
I think the idea behind it's to demonstrate how Accor is more flexible and accommodating. We are open to all profiles, and we are really looking for soft skills.
As I was mentioned to Florian earlier, what's super interesting is I guess in turn they find out about skills maybe they didn't know that they have. So I guess they're discovering them by taking part.
Yeah, for sure. I could say that I think it's a really good way to make candidates realize of their own soft skills, on their own potential, and it's also a good way to demonstrate to the world that how hospitality has so much opportunities. And I think it's true to say that we have a really come as you are approach in our recruitment.
Absolutely. Maybe you can tell us about your innovative idea. Is it the Pullman bus tour in Paris? What was that all about?
To be honest, we wanted to create our own recruitment event based on the hop-on and hop-off buses in Paris. So we chose 3 strategic steps to meet our potential candidates, to pick up them into the bus and to starting interview. It was also a really great opportunity to demonstrate how we think out of the box, break the rules and make it funny.
As Florian just mentioned, Accor supports their candidates with the necessary tools and, of course, training. Clearly, they're paramount at Accor.
Yes, it's true to say that in Accor it's really important to train and mentor each artist. Actually, we're looking for initiative people with emotional intelligence and understanding for the relationships. But the fact is we recruit without CV. So does it mean sometimes we need some basic training during the onboarding? It could be like a basic something like in beginning, like how to take an order, how to clean a room, to something stronger developed program. So yes, it's true to say that training, it's a really big tool to train up people with no qualifications.
But I think what's great, as you just underlined then, it's not training doing, a whole 1-year general manager program. It can be little tiny small things like taking an order. So I guess you're really giving full accompaniment and support to all of the talent that you get on board at Accor. So I have one last question for both of you. What would you say, especially to you, Martine, what would you say to someone who was maybe deliberating a career change and trying out a new career in hospitality?
I would say give it a try. It could be challenging, daunting, but it's worth it.
OK, and what about you, Juliette? I mean, what would you say to someone who was contemplating working at Accor?
Yeah, I completely agree, as we just saw with Martin Sofkierski. Moreover, if you are a team worker or if you love to meet people, I really encourage candidates to try in and just to meeting us on our future Job au Talent maybe.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Juliette and Martine, for sharing your experiences with us. Now Accor strives to do more for their clients, but not only, also for the local communities around their hotels. Now, in the next video, we'll meet the Brazilian team that have worked hard on implementing environmental initiatives that have a positive impact in the local community. Let's take a look.
I am Marcia Miranda. I have 26 years of experience in the hotel industry, and I've been with the Accor Group for almost 18 years. For the past 5 years, I've been working as hotel manager at the Hotel Jequitimá Resort and Spa by Accor. In recent years, at Jequitimá Hotel, we have dedicated ourselves to various environmental endeavors, sustainability events, and established ESG partnerships, leading to an important project, Fit in the Sand, Sea Free of Waste. The hotel is located right on the beach, between the islands of Arvoredo and Mar Casado. It is close to nature, and our beach, the picturesque Praia de Pernambuco along the São Paulo coast, was the inspiration for our project. We have a duty to safeguard our environment and engage both our employees and the local community in its preservation. This project was supported by contributions from the hotel and investor. The concerted efforts of employees in organizing events and initiatives, strategic partnerships boosted by strong community rapport and press recognition, and the participation of the local authorities and association encourage us to make it possible to carry out this project. A sustainable committee composed of dedicated employees in collaboration with the management spearheaded the project's execution and established vital partnerships. The entire team and I take immense pride in this project because it transforms people and the environment, and that changes the culture. This change radiates from our unity and resonates throughout the community. For those who want to start or are starting out in the hospitality industry, I am proof that with dedication and persistence, it is possible to build a career rich in learning and unique experiences. See amazing people and places and be recognized for your work. I encourage you to join our team.
What a positive video from Marsha and her team. As we just saw, Accor is a global player with a wide social responsibility. However, to successfully create initiatives of this magnitude, it does need the support and implementation from all of the teams of the hotel. And our next guests are going to be telling us all about how they implemented their respective operations in the hotels. So I'm proud to welcome to the set, of course, Jade and Bram. Thank you so much for being with us here today. So, Jade, I'll start with you. Now, I came to your hotel in Paris and I was really surprised to the magnitude of your work. That means, how you're working on multiple aspects of the hotel all the time, from the flowers in the lobby to the food menu to the paper consumption in the office. You're everywhere at the same time. So firstly, your job as CSR manager, that's Corporate Social Responsibility Manager. What does that entail exactly?
So basically my job is about driving a new strategy to implement sustainability in each department, including their needs, because it could be very different from one point to another. It's also really about analyzing data to create a real big synergy between the information and where you are to where you want to go. But I think the most important thing is about training people and creating awareness with the clients and through the artists, because without them we can't do anything.
So it has a real kind of sustainability role as well. But what qualities do you have to be a good CSR manager?
I think you really need to be convincing, to share your ideas and make it concrete through the people. It's also really about listening to them, could be the guest or the world in general. You have to be very analytic to understand how it works and where you want to go.
So prior to working in the hotel, were you looking for a job in hospitality?
Actually, not at all.
Really?
Yes. as we saw in the video, actually, I found a job on LinkedIn and I just took my chance. Like, I saw the opportunity and I was like, okay, why not trying the hospitality area? And finally, I just, started as an intern and stayed on, so.
And you're excelling in it, so what great proof you are. What would you say is the most important part of your job, Jade?
I think the most important part is maybe charity. You know what? CSR is not just about environmental part. It's also about ethics and how you driving with people. We are very activated, the charity. We are working with them a lot. It's also about, yes, trying to create positive message and engage people to do better and better, and also trying to be, you know, a model for the people that you are influencing.
Actually, when I was there, it was in October, and I know that there's a big, it's called October Rose, so Pink October here in France.
That's true.
And you basically, it's dedicated to all cancer charities. So you're even creating events around these kind of things.
That's true, exactly. We're trying to focus on many big dates that could have a positive impact and build a whole project around it with every staff member in the hotel to be positive, you know.
Now, just like the Brazilian team, and just like you said, you know, you work with larger charities, but also smaller local charities. I mean, you fully invest your time and effort with also your colleagues at the hotel in helping these charities and, you know, creating awareness around them. I mean, really, your job is very purpose-driven.
That's true, that's true. I mean, that's definitely the base of it.
Now, a purpose-driven job, I'm going to ask, actually, the people that are watching, it's something that would interest you? Is it something that you'd be interested in maybe taking on? A purpose-driven job? Let us know in the comments. We can't wait to hear from you. So, Jade, concretely, what kind of actions have you undertaken that have made a real impact?
I mean, we did a lot of things, but what I'm really proud of is, I would say, the Green Team first. So what is the Green Team? It's this environmental and social committee that we have in the hotel. So each member is part of every department in the hotel. So we have many different profiles and soft skills. That's why we took them. And we'll be doing a lot of projects. I'm also super proud of the relationship that we have created with our suppliers, especially in the kitchen, because we're trying to focus on the local communities and local producers. Most of them are coming around Paris. And I'm also super proud of the awareness that has built my colleagues and teams. At the beginning, it was not so easy, but finally they're super into it and even bringing me back some information. So that's it.
I mentioned it in the intro about the flowers in the lobby. Can you just tell us about what you implemented there?
So at the beginning, so we have some flowers in the lobby, but each month they were throwing away, so we decided to keep them and selling 3 too good to go, you know, to create some money that we can bring back to other projects. And I mean, we're not losing the flowers anymore, so that's wonderful.
Good to hear. No waste there. Now, for people that may be interested in acquiring a similar job, is this role exclusive to the hotel that you're working at?
I mean, Accor has been very dedicated to CSR since many years, but my job is quite new, so it's super interesting, and they're trying to open so many positions in different parts of I mean, it's worldwide, so take your chance as I did.
Well, there you go. Click on the careers website link just under the video. There may be a CSR opportunity for you. Okay, so how would you encourage someone who didn't even think about working in the hospitality industry before applying for this job? How open is the industry to new profiles and new talents? And what would you say to someone that may be considering a career in hospitality?
I mean, I'm definitely not an Accor baby. I come from a very business-focused background, but it's so interesting that you see, and as the previous members mentioned, it's really about the soft skills and how you can bring your own personality into your job. So, I mean, Accor is definitely open to that. So just look at the career website, and you will find definitely where you want to go.
I love it. You've really embraced your job and grown and flourished with it.
I love it.
It's great to see. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. So how are general managers applying this to their hotels? Well, Bram, you're with us here today, cluster manager at Novotel Luxembourg Kirchberg and Novotel Suites Luxembourg.
Indeed.
Thank you very, very much for being with us here
Thank
today.
You. Thank you for having me.
Now, Jade said she wasn't an Accor baby. Well, I think you are, because you've been with Accor right from the beginning of your career. Tell us about that. How long?
Indeed. Well, I'm indeed an Accor baby. I have 26 years and counting. So, yeah, I started the past century.
good to hear.
Indeed.
Don't, you're making us all feel really old. So why did you choose to work at Accor?
Well, I chose to work for Accor because it was the only company who received my CV and accepted it. No,
What?
I'm just kidding.
You're not supposed to say that.
No, because I think, first of all, I wanted to learn French, and secondly, because I think working for a company with that reputation, it was a great beginning. So that was the main reason.
But you didn't start off as general manager, right?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I really started, and I was hearing Florian talking. He started through reception. Well, I started through the restaurant. So I entered by being a waiter, and then I worked slowly my way up through the echelons, as we said in French, towards F&B manager. I even had a headquarter function, a little bit similar to Florian as well, where I was like in charge of implementing a new F&B concept. Worked in different countries, so from Belgium, a little bit in France, I touched Holland, and now I'm working in the wonderful country of Luxembourg.
Wow. The fact that you've worked your way up and you've done multiple roles within the hotel, why was it so important for you to do that? And what do you think that's brought to you now that you're in a general manager position?
Well, I think it's important because it gives you the idea. No, don't give you the idea. It really is important because you have a lot of respect from the staff. You really have knowledge of what you're asking. You really have a feeling and a connection with them. And it has tremendously helped me to push them forward, because asking them, pushing their limits, made that they grow and that they blow and bloom.
Absolutely. Now, but how about you? How have you developed throughout this 26-year journey?
Well, I have had a lot of trainings, I think, and we heard it about. I think we are really step by step. You're pushed. A lot of investment. Accor has made the manager that I am today, not only by my peers, but also by the managers that I was formed. A lot of training programs. It's really made me the person that I am. I am open. I am for diversity. I'm for inclusion. Maybe even before we talked about it, that was already a little bit the ethics of Accor. So we really grown into it.
So as we just saw in the video, around the world, Accor's teams are committed to implementing pioneering initiatives to address specific challenges and create, of course, a positive impact on local community. What initiatives have you been able to put in place at your hotel?
Well, I think the one we're most proud of regarding to local communities and really connecting with them was the concept Dinner in the Dark. I think it's a French initiative which is called Dîner dans le Noir. And it's really giving an experience to people, how it feels to be blind, how it feels to be in a dark world, and only having your taste buds, your sense to discover something. So we have recruited 4 people who have difficulties in seeing or even are blind. For instance, one has a guiding dog. So we like have now a dog often in the hotel, which completely changes that feeling, that interaction with the staff.
Dynamic,
and it's warm, it's great, and that's really something that we're proud of as a team, that we have started that.
Absolutely. I'm just going to ask the people that are connected. Tomorrow, if you are hired in a leadership position at a hotel, what would be the first measure that you'd implement, and how would you like to help the local community? Tell us in the chat box. We'd love to hear from you. So, Bram, diversity, equity and inclusion, it's all embedded in the DNA at Accor. So I imagine from Accor's point of view, you got full support from them for this Dans le Noir project.
It was really only when I received the email, and then 6 months later, everything was done. I think we had a little bit of bumpy roads, and it was not all that easy when I tell it like that, but the result is really there. And Accor has been supportive all the way from the first time that I requested. What do you think, guys? Is that an opportunity? They were, go ahead. It's
full gas.
So full gas. Let's pull on the throttle and let's go. Yeah.
Good to hear. So how about your team? How did they react to the implementation of this brand new restaurant?
Well, my first interaction was with the department heads, of course, the kitchen chef, for instance, to name him. I think he's somebody who has 20 years of experience. And nowadays, when we create a plate, everything needs to be nicely dressed. It's a small picture, so it's like photos.
For sure.
So we have
Instagram food.
Exactly, and it needs to be Instagrammable, as we said. But then suddenly, when you serve a 3-course dinner in the dark, it doesn't matter how it's presented. So it's all about texture, it's all about flavor, it's all about composing and adding elements that give an extra value to the other one. So it was a complete different mindset in creating that menu, and he has embraced that idea, worked with his team, and it was so great to see and to experience what they could create with that. So that's for instance, one of the things that has majorly changed in the mindset of the team. So
absolutely. What about the feedback after the implementation of this restaurant?
Well, I think the feedback that we have, we did like tasting sessions for the team as well, because we wanted to have them the experience. And I think the implementation was that great and that rich. We were, for instance, #1 TripAdvisor for 6 months in a row in Luxembourg, in the complete country, not only the city but the country.
Oh, added bonus.
Yeah, that was a great achievement of the team, and all credits to them.
Absolutely, teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly.
Now for the artists and for the team, this must have also represented an opportunity with a much deeper meaning as well.
Exactly. Well, for us, it was really an eye-opener, because when we recruit, and I heard it, my colleagues that told me, when we recruit, we often use sentences. We try to really create something which is very attractive in wording. But often by using some words, now we see that we are not having an offer that is inclusive to everybody. So together with my colleagues in Luxembourg, we are willing to try to work on, when we have a job available, to have a 100% inclusive offer, so that we don't skip any people who might have great competences, a lot of added value to the company, but today that we are not even thinking about, or we don't see them. So that was really something that was for us, nevertheless, a little bit, completely
in line, of course, with Accor's ethics as well. Making a positive impact completely aligns with the core promise, of course, of being a artist. Any other initiatives that have stemmed from this fantastic initiative, Dans le Noir?
Well, as I mentioned, as it was an eye-opener, it sets you thinking. You start thinking, you start to look at your clients, your staff in another way. And together with the Novotels in Luxembourg, we organized something that we called a diversity day. And we organized a more or less mandatory training for the staff, where we organized workshops around inclusion and diversity. For instance, a sign language workshop, where we had the basics, of course, but it was so warm, it was so embracing, it was so heartwarming to be in contact with people. For instance, we did a workshop, again, blind tasting sessions, which is obvious. We did a session with people in wheelchairs, I think, or we always try to help them. We try to guide them through the restaurant, but they don't want that. They want to be individual. They want to go their own way. So what is done, what is not done? How can we help them? When must we help them? It was very, very rich. And I think we're going to push the repeat button for next year, I think.
Fantastic. Of one initiative comes another. That's great. I mean, it must have been such an enriching experience for the staff too. How would you say that this has changed your relationship with the staff and maybe your managerial approach?
Well, I'm a little bit like Florian. I'm somebody I really, I used to say, invest in your staff and they will take care of your business. It's like maybe a stupid phrase, but in basic it's that. I think putting all your energy into your staff, putting into that soft talents, really makes that they are happy, that you're engaged, that they look for that diversity. By the mixture of the staff, the anciennity, etc., seniority, that makes that you grow together, and that's what is very important. And for me, that was the most important thing, to feel, to see that is the path to do, that's the right way. So so it was more or less a confirmation of the way that I have chosen to be as a manager. So.
Fantastic. Okay, just to conclude, what would you say to someone who's contemplating joining Accor? Jade?
I mean, try. You will find a place where you can express yourself and challenging yourself also. So give it a try and you'll see. I'm sure you will find something for you.
And Bram?
I think I fully agree with you, Jade. I think just do it. We are looking for young people. We are looking for old people. We are looking for different competences. We are looking for a great attitude. We learn, lifelong learning. We are there for you. I think we are such a great hospitality, such a great business. So give it a shot. We are inclusive, we are passionate, we are ready to welcome you.
Great final words, Bram, to conclude
Thank
this
you.
Faces and Places Interactive Live. Thank you so much to all of our guests who've shared their stories with us today. And of course, you for joining us online. This will be available on replay if you did miss any part of it, or if you just want to watch again and rehear and get inspired by some of those stories from the talent here at Accor. Are you convinced to join the hospitality industry? If so, click on the link underneath this video. Thank you from me, Hayley Edmonds. Have a great morning, afternoon or evening from wherever you're connected from in the world. Thank you and goodbye.